Track 42.
There's a Pharaoh in Our Bath by Jeremy Strong. Part 1.
The lid of the cobwebbed coffin was slowly pushed back, and the two men laid it carefully on the museum floor. They stared inside at the beautifully painted ancient Egyptian mummy case, covered with picture writing. Daylight was already beginning to fade from the musty storeroom. The other museum staff had gone home, and the only company left with the two men now were the stacks of old mummy cases, ancient skeletons, and a large stuffed rhinoceros. Professor Jelly pulled the lamp closer and inspected the hieroglyphs. The light shimmered across his moon-like face.
"What does it say?"
demanded Grimstone. The head of the museum's ancient Egyptian collection stared over Jelly's shoulder.
"Is it the mummy of the missing pharaoh?"
Part 2.
Professor Jelly took a sweet from his jacket pocket, popped it in his mouth, and bent over the mummy case. Hazelnut crunch. Now, this squiggly bit here says, 'May perfumed flowers be crushed beneath his feet.' Very poetic."
"But who's inside?"
Grimstone barked impatiently, and his great winged eyebrows crashed together over his hooded eyes and hawk nose. He stabbed a thin finger at one side of the coffin.
"What about here? What does it say? It looks important."
Professor Jelly sucked noisily on his sweet. "That bit there?"
"Yes."
"That says, 'Please keep this way up at all times.'"
"What?"
yelled Grimstone. "And that bit," continued the professor, waving at some faded hieroglyphs with a pudgy hand, "that bit there says, 'Not to be opened before Christmas.'" For a few seconds, Grimstone was stunned. Then his eyes glinted dangerously.
"You're making this up, Jelly, aren't you?"
The professor straightened his tubby frame. "Of course I'm making it up. Stop pestering me and let me study it properly. This mummy has been stuck here for 70 years already, ever since it was first brought to the museum from ancient Egypt for the collection. A few more minutes' wait won't hurt."
Part 3.
"This could be the discovery of the century. It could make our fortunes. We could be millionaires. The clue to a fabulous treasure is in that coffin."
He turned his back to the professor.
"Come on, Jelly. Get a move on."
The professor was still translating the hieroglyphs on the coffin's side. "He who opens this coffin will be cursed by Anubis. There now. Just our luck. We're going to be cursed by Anubis."
"Who's Anubis?"
demanded Grimstone. "He was the ancient Egyptian god of the dead. Had a head like a jackal."